April 12, 2025. A plot to assassinate a president. A betrayal by his closest friend. And one man armed only with a rusty phone and unshakable courage who stood between a nation and chaos. Here, in the heart of Bobo Dioulasso, life moves to the rhythm of the harvest. For Omar Zoram, a farmer who'd spent decades coaxing life from this unforgiving land, the only threats he feared were drought and locusts. Until the day he stumbled upon a secret that would rewrite history. Omar, lit by a kerosene lamp, hears muffled voices. He creeps through towering sorghum stalks. The camera weaves with him, leaving brushing the lens. Through a gap, shadowy figures huddle around a pickup truck, their faces obscured, but their accents foreign. One man barks orders in Dioula. What Omar saw that night was no ordinary meeting. Among the conspirators, a face he recognized. A man who'd once shared meals with the president. A brother in all but blood. With minutes to spare, a farmer became a nation's last line of defense. What happened next would test not just a leader's resolve but the very soul of Burkina Faso. This is the story of how loyalty transcends power. How a farmer's wit outsmarted bullets. And why, in the battle for Africa's future, the truest weapons are courage and a cell phone battery. Where are you watching from? Comment below. Down arrow and hit the subscribe button. In Bobo Dioulasso, where the earth yields cassava and resilience, Omar Zoram's life revolved not around politics but survival. For decades, he'd watched foreign mines strip Burkina's soil while jihadists stole its peace. Then came a soldier named Ibrahim Traoré. At 34, Traoré seized power, vowing to reclaim Burkina from terrorists and thieves. For Omar, it was the first flicker of hope, a leader who farmed the land as his ancestors did, rejecting foreign handouts. Adama. You always played the saint, IB. But saints don't survive coups. Present day, Adama, now a discharged officer, meets Ivorian agents in a dimly lit Abidjan safe house. A briefcase of euros exchanges hands. Ivorian agent. The gold mines in Bobo, they'll be yours, once Traoré falls. While Traoré expelled French troops and allied with Russia, old friends plotted in the shadows. Adama's envy festered, a wound from a brotherhood lost. By April 2025, Traoré's reforms had angered empires. Gold mines funded schools, not foreign banks. France's allies struck back, a plot to sow chaos and restore colonial control. Adama, disguised, arrives in Bobo. He recruits jihadists at a mosque, unaware Omar watches from the cassava rows. Adama, to militants. The convoy passes here at dawn. No survivors, not even the hero captain. Traoré. They call me a criminal for keeping our gold. I call it justice. In the shadows of the maze, Omar's heart hammered. He watched as Adama, once Traoré's brother-in-arms, now a man with nothing to lose, met with commanders from a notorious jihadist cell. Their faces were hard, their weapons new, fresh from a convoy that had crossed the border from Mali just days before. Adama handed over a duffel bag. The jihadists unzip it, revealing stacks of cash and a cache of rifles, some still wrapped in plastic. A whispered promise: when the convoy passes, you strike. No mistakes. Omar's hands shook as he pressed record. Every word, every threat, every promise of blood captured in shaky pixels. He knew what this meant: a coup, not just against a president, but against the fragile hope of a nation. Omar slips home, breathless. He bursts into his mud-walled house, startling his wife. Their children stir in the corner. Wife, whispering, frantic. You saw them? Omar, you can't get involved. They'll kill us all. Omar, voice trembling, but resolute. If I stay silent, we lose more than our lives. We lose our future. I have to warn the president. He sits, head in hands, as the weight of his decision settles. The camera lingers on the phone, the only evidence that could save a nation or doom his family. Omar, exhausted but determined, sets out on foot. The camera follows his journey through fields, over streams, past wary villagers. He flags down a passing motorcycle, barters with a sack of cassava, and rides toward the highway. 12 kilometers. That's all that separated Omar from the president's convoy and from the men who would kill him. Every step was a gamble. Every minute, a race against death. Traoré's convoy approaches, engines roaring. Omar, now on foot, waves a red cloth desperately. Soldiers shout, guns raised. The convoy screeches to a halt. Soldier, shouting. Get back. Move away. Traoré, recognizing Omar from past village visits, steps out, curiosity and concern etched on his face. Traoré. Let him speak. Omar, breathless, thrusts the phone into Traoré's hands. The president watches the video, face darkening with each word. Traoré, voice low, controlled fury. This betrayal cuts deeper than a knife. Traoré turns to his commanders. Orders are given in rapid-fire Mossi and French. The elite unit, the VDPS volunteers for the defense of the homeland are mobilized. Night vision cameras capture their silent approach through the bush. The trap was set. But this time, the hunters became the hunted. Adama and the jihadists, weapons ready, wait in the darkness. Suddenly, floodlights blaze. Soldiers swarm in, shouts and gunfire echoing. Adama tries to run, but is tackled and cuffed. The jihadist commanders are dragged out, stunned and defeated. Traoré addresses the nation, voice steady but eyes weary. Traoré, on TV. We have been betrayed from within, but we will not fall. Burkina Faso stands united thanks to the courage of its people. Omar returns home, embraced by his family. He laughs, tears in his eyes, as neighbors gather to celebrate. For a moment, hope flickers bright in Bobo Dioulasso. With the plot foiled and the conspirators in custody, the truth could no longer hide in the shadows. Under questioning, Adama's resolve crumbled. He confessed to everything: the meetings with Ivorian operatives, the promises of power, and the betrayal of his childhood friend. Adama's confession revealed the depth of the conspiracy. He named former military officers, now sheltered in Abidjan, who had orchestrated the plot, funneled weapons, and coordinated with jihadist groups to destabilize the nation. Traoré stands before his cabinet, voice steely yet shaken. Traoré. We will root out every snake, foreign or domestic. Burkina Faso will never again be a playground for those who wish to see us divided and weak. The presidential palace courtyard is filled with villagers, soldiers, and journalists. Omar, dressed in his best boubou, stands nervously as Traoré pins a medal to his chest. Traoré, smiling, voice warm. Today, we honor not just a farmer, but the spirit of Burkina Faso, the courage to stand for justice, even when the cost is great. Crowd erupts in applause. Omar, overwhelmed, wipes away tears and laughs as his children rush to embrace him. Omar, to the crowd. My duty was to the soil and the people. I am no hero, only a son of this land. Political analysts and historians discuss the failed coup. Archival clips of past coups, the trauma of instability, and the hope sparked by grassroots resistance. Expert 1. Burkina Faso's resilience is rooted in its people. Time and again, ordinary citizens have stood up to defend their nation, even when institutions faltered. Expert 2. This episode is a testament to the power of vigilance and loyalty at the grassroots. It's a reminder that security starts with trust between leaders and the people. Traoré stands before a packed crowd at Revolution Square. His voice rings out, passionate and unwavering. Traoré. When the people rise, imperialism trembles. Our struggle is not just for Burkina Faso, but for all Africa. We will not bow. We will not beg. We will fight for our dignity, for our future, and for the generations yet unborn. Traoré, continuing. Let this day be a message, no matter how powerful the enemy, the will of the people is stronger. Together, in solidarity, we will defeat imperialism and neo-colonialism for a free, dignified, and sovereign Africa. In the end, it was not generals or politicians who saved Burkina Faso, but a farmer with a phone and a conscience. His courage sparked a movement, his loyalty restored faith, and his story became a beacon for a continent on the rise. This story is not just about one man's bravery or a president's survival. It is about a nation's will to shape its own destiny. In the heart of Africa, Burkina Faso is proving that sovereignty is more than a word, it is a living, daily struggle, carried by the hands of farmers, the vision of leaders, and the courage of ordinary people. If you believe in the power of unity, if you believe Africa's future belongs in African hands, let your voice be heard. Share this story with your friends, your family, your community. Stand with Burkina Faso as it builds a future free from foreign interference, a future where the land feeds its people and hope is harvested alongside the crops. Follow the progress of Burkina Faso's agricultural reforms, where over 15 billion CFA francs are being invested to boost food resilience, empower smallholder farmers, and transform the breadbasket regions of the country into engines of growth and hope. These reforms are not just policy, they are a promise that no Burkinabe will go hungry, and that the nation will never again depend on foreign aid for its survival. Burkina Faso's agricultural transformation is a model for Africa. With innovation, investment, and the spirit of its people, the nation is overcoming drought, conflict, and outside pressure. The world may watch with skepticism, but here, hope grows from the ground up. Condemn foreign interference wherever you see it. Stand up for the right of every nation to choose its own path. Africa's liberation will not come from outside, it will come from within. In a world of shadows, courage blooms in the unlikeliest places. From the fields of Bobo Dioulasso to the corridors of power in Ouagadougou, the spirit of Burkina Faso endures. It is a spirit forged in struggle, watered by sacrifice, and harvested in unity. Remember, the fate of a nation can rest in the hands of a single farmer. The hope of a continent can be carried by the courage of its youth. And the future is written, every day, by those who refuse to give up. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May the courage of Omar, the vision of Traoré, and the unity of the Burkinabe people inspire you wherever you are.